Hi guys, this is part 2 of my mini series about making my sister's birthday cake. Today we are making the butter and mushroom toppers. The only reason I'm making the butter from scratch is because they were completely sold out of it at the store and we didn't want to go to another one. So all you have to do is take heavy cream and put it in a bowl and mix it until the cream separates into butter and buttermilk. You're going to separate the two and you can keep the buttermilk, but I never use it because I don't bake pancakes or anything like that, so I always just discard it, but you can definitely use it if you want to. And then you take the butter, put it in an ice bath, squeeze out all the buttermilk and moisture as you can, and then you can begin shaping it and making sure it's as dense as possible. Here I'm just taking my saran wrap and wrapping up the butter so that it can go in the fridge, and then the butter is done. But we aren't! Next we're going to heat up water for a double boiler because we are melting our red candy melts for the mushroom toppers. Stir until they're fully melted and then take it off the stove, and then I'm going to prep a piping bag to put the chocolate in. Make sure the chocolate's at least somewhat cooled before you put it into the piping bag. Pour the chocolate in and make sure to scrape the sides of the bowl and get as much of the chocolate out of the bowl as you can so you're not wasting. Here I'm taking a little bit of avocado oil and adding it to a paper towel so I can grease the molds that we'll be using for our mushrooms, which are teaspoons and tablespoons, to make sure that they won't stick after the chocolate has set. I removed the teaspoons from the ring that keeps them all together just to make things easier, and then I got my piping bag ready, cut off the end of the bag, and started filling the teaspoons. Then they go into the freezer for a few minutes. The greasing method for the teaspoons did not work at all, and the chocolate was stuck to the teaspoons. So what we had to do was put them in a hot water and try to get them out that way, but I flung it onto the wall by accident. So the next thing we wanted to do was make some mini mushrooms by piping directly onto some parchment paper to see if we can make some semicircles that way. Those also went to chill, so then we worked on making the white dots of the mushrooms by melting our leftover white chocolate that we had in the first video on a double boiler as usual, putting in a piping bag like we did for the red chocolate. And then we moved all the red bases to the same spot, and a lot of them we made off camera, so that's why there's so many that you can see. Some big ones, some small ones, and then we poured the white chocolate into the piping bag, just like we did for the red ones. And now it's time to pipe all the little white dots onto the mushrooms. I am glad I did this before I actually had to make the cake because the entire process of making the mushrooms and also making the butter took probably around 3 hours. As I'm editing this, I've already finished the cake, and it took 8 hours. So yeah, prepping the mushrooms in advance was probably a good idea. Part 3 is coming out tomorrow, and it is the baking and decorating session. Don't miss it. Bye!